So I'm telling you from personal experience that I have signed contracts that I look back now on, and I would not have signed those contracts if I knew what I knew now. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanea, and in today's video I am getting ready to film some content. So I'm going to do my makeup and I'm going to do my hair, and then I'm also going to chit chat with y'all about TikTok sponsorships because we need to talk. I'll start off by doing my makeup. I've been growing out my eyebrows, so please don't judge me. I ran out of my eyebrow pencil, so I'm just going to be using an eyeliner. I'll probably have all the makeup in the description below so I don't have to talk about it. So as some of you may know, TikTok is my largest platform. That's where I get most of my sponsorships. That's where most companies want to work with me because it's my largest platform. Now, I didn't start getting sponsorships until I actually put my email in my bio, and that was like a way for brands to know that I'm accepting work and that I'm open to work. So I will say that most brands have reached out to me first, but that doesn't mean that you can't reach out to brands. I have a video, I'll put it right here. It's how to get brand deals. I talk about how you can reach out to brands. I'm gonna be coming out with a part 2 of that, so look out for that. So when brands and companies reach out to you to work, I would say don't feel intimidated or don't feel like you have to say yes. You don't have to work with them. You don't have to say yes to their products. You don't have to go forward with their sponsorship just because they reached out to you. And I say this because as a creator, I've gotten a lot of different offers of people wanting to work with me, but I haven't accepted them all because sometimes the brand just doesn't align with my goals or my vision, and that's okay. When I first started creating, I was so excited about all the brands that were reaching out to me, and I was so ready to just like work with everyone, but really being able to take a step back and acknowledge, like, what does my audience want to see? Really take into account who your audience is before you accept a brand deal. And that leads me to my next thing, which is to always do your research, okay? Like, you may have a brand reach out to you, and because you know the name of the brand or you've seen the brand like in advertisements before, you may feel like, oh, I know this brand, like, you know, I know that they make great clothes or I know that they make great products. You don't know that, okay? Research. And it's really important to maintain trust with your audience because these are the people that are watching you. These are the people that are supporting you. And if you're promoting brands and companies and products that just aren't very good, then your audience is gonna lose trust in you, right? So when I first started getting like floods of emails of brands and companies wanting to work with me, I had to really do my research. And a lot of those companies and brands that I thought I would have wanted to work with because I knew the name of them, I realized I was like, oh, their reviews are not that good, or oh, a lot of people have had really bad experiences with them. And some people may have a bad experience with the company, and that's okay. But if you see a pattern, or if you see that this brand has had a previous reputation of doing something in the past that doesn't align with your goals or your brand, that's a red flag. If a brand is reaching out to you and they're asking to do like a product exchange or like just like something where you're not getting paid, always, always, always ask if you can't get paid. Now, I'll say this, if there's a brand that you really want to work with, that you really feel passionate about, that you really want to just build a relationship with, I would say it's okay to take those product exchanges. There's been a few brand deals that I've accepted without payment, and that's because I genuinely believed in that brand and I genuinely wanted to establish a relationship. But then there's some brands where I've completely held my boundaries and I've just said, you know, hey, at this time, I don't think this will work out, but I would love to reconnect in the future and see if you do have any paid collaborations. Now, I've also had brands reach out to me and offer me payment like from the very beginning. And with those sponsorships, I would say to know your worth. So if you make your rate card, which I have another video if you want to check that one out. If you make your rate card, you set your rates, you know your worth, right? It's all about knowing your worth. And if a brand is reaching out and they're offering you something that's below your rate, it's okay to negotiate and ask for something that is your rate or is closer to your rate. I had a brand reach out to me once that offered me a rate that was much lower than what I usually charge, and I told them my rate, and I told them what I would be willing to accept for this type of sponsorship. And we went back and forth for a couple of emails, but I ended up getting what I wanted. I said previously before that if you really love a brand and you really believe in their vision and their products, that it's okay to accept a gifted collaboration to establish a relationship. The same thing applies to this. So if a company or brand is reaching out to you and they're offering you less than what you typically charge, it's okay to accept it with contingency. And as an influencer, we're not always going to get what we want, right? Sometimes it's literally just about building those relationships, establishing that trust with the brand. And then once they see the content that you can produce, once they see the connection and the community that you've built, they will be more willing to work with you in the future. So after you negotiate, after you accept the deal, you're probably going to get a contract, okay? When I tell you you need to read your contracts, you need to read your contracts. So I'm telling you from personal experience that I have signed contracts that I look back now on, and I would not have signed those contracts if I knew what I knew now. And the main reason why I would not have signed those contracts is because of usage rights. I did not know about the world of usage rights, okay, until like yesterday. So like as a content creator, I'm learning, you're probably learning, we're learning together, okay? And let me tell you, usage rights is how they get you. And I'm not saying that the companies or brands that I worked with at the very beginning of my TikTok sponsorships were shady or like they were doing something wrong because I didn't know about what I was signing. It was because I didn't educate myself. It was because I just signed the contract thinking like, oh, you know, I'm still gonna get paid. But no. You're gonna get paid, yeah, but they're gonna be taking your content and using that whenever and however they want. Forever. If you sign perpetual usage rights away, I'm gonna make a whole video talking about usage rights and how to charge for usage rights. So it's gonna be like part 2 of my how to make a rate card video. So stay tuned for that. But in a nutshell, usage rights are basically how companies can use your content to market and advertise however they choose. And before you sign your contracts, another thing you should discuss with the company is how long it's gonna take for them to pay you. Now, some brands may have a net 30 or they might have a net 60, which basically means you would get paid in 30 days or 60 days. Some brands also pay through PayPal, which has lots of fees. So if there's another way that they can pay you besides PayPal, I would highly suggest not getting paid through PayPal, okay? Now, if you do have to accept PayPal like as your payment, I would suggest reaching out to PayPal before you get any payment sent to your account. Sometimes PayPal will put your money on hold if they can't like verify the services and goods that you've provided to the company. It's kind of weird with being an influencer because you just have to create an invoice and say like 1 TikTok video and then like the price, and it's a whole thing. But I could probably do a video on how to make an invoice. If y'all want to see that, let me know. Another thing I didn't realize about some TikTok sponsorships is that they may require you to meet like a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of views in order for you to get paid. Okay, so it's really important to read your contracts, because if they have a minimum requirement of like 10,000 views and your videos typically get like 3,000 to 5,000 views, then you might not want to take that sponsorship just because you risk not reaching 10,000 views and not getting paid. Or the company might have it in their contract where if you don't reach the minimum requirements, they may ask you to make more content for them, and that would be like free on their end. So watch out for that. Another thing I will say is that even though these sponsorships can be very, very lucrative, they may not always come when you want them to come. As someone who's just getting started with influencing, this is like literally only my 2nd year doing this. I know last year there was 1 month where I made like 5 figures, and then the next month I made 0. So it can really vary. I would say as someone who has like a real life job and who also does content creation, there have been some months where I'm like, I can quit my job and I can just focus on this. But then there's some months where I'm like, oh, I should just hold on to this for a little longer. So for someone like me, it's just not time for me to quit my job yet. I think I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit longer until I feel like I am completely secure in being a full-time creator. So that's my advice to anyone who is also in a part-time or full-time job situation. And if that means talking to financial advisors or, you know, having a management team come in and try to help you figure out what's best for your finances, then that's okay too. But don't ever feel discouraged, because I have seen plenty of content creators who have like a regular job who are still incredibly successful on the internet and who haven't made content creation their full-time job yet. So it's totally okay to still be working a regular job. I keep saying that with like air quotes because I think a lot of people don't actually consider influencing a real job, but it's real money. So this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions or you just want to discuss this topic in the comments below, I'd love to. Please make sure that you're subscribed so you can see more videos like it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!